straight to the heart of the game. From the hottest plays on the court to the controversies off it. We're breaking it all down with unfiltered takes and raw honesty. No sugarcoating, no holding back. Just real talk for real fans. Let's get into it.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl Keisha with Cut the Ish Real Talk Sports. Coming to you to talk about a topic that we've been mulling over for some weeks now, but we're going to talk about it tonight. But before we get to that, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I am on the road to 1,500 subscribers, and I need you guys to help me get there. But also hit the like button. I'm up here with my buddy Duvall. We're going to break down the plight of coaching a superstar, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. How you doing, Duvall?
I'm feeling good, looking good, and I'm ready to go. You know how that goes.
Feeling good and looking good? Okay.
Two for the price of one.
Two for the price. All right, Coach Prime. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. All right. We look. This is a topic that Duvall was like, look, we need to dive into this topic of how hard it is to coach a superstar like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. All the pressures that be on these coaches' shoulders. We be on their neck every game. It's got to be really, really stressful. You got the fans. You got the expectations of the superstar athlete, they brand. You got everybody talking, and I'm wondering if some of these coaches can block out the noise. But I'm going to play a video from Stephanie White. She was at a press conference, and then we're going to dive into it, Duvall. Is that okay with you?
That's okay with me. And the video came from the Connecticut Sun pregame.
Okay.
So that's when she made the statement that she made. But this video will set the table of why this topic has been approached and has been made today.
Yes. All right, let's get into it.
The way. A lot of fans outside of the Fan Fest wearing Fever merch and Caitlin Clark jerseys and things like that. What does it mean to you to know that your team has fans, all the way out here on the East Coast?
No, I mean it's huge, and that's the thing about generational talents, and you see it on the NBA side a lot, not just around the country, but around the world. Wearing jerseys of their favorite players, and you think about the generational talents that continue to come from college to the W, and Caitlin's one of them. Obviously, Paige is one of them. Angel Reese, and to be able to continue to see the game grow nationally and globally is important. And thankfully, we get to celebrate that in a lot of different cities, and happy to be a part of that. Having the way.
Oh, y'all heard a little bit of what Stephanie White had to say, Duvall. She considers Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese generational talent, which which leads to when you go to different cities, not just their city, you're gonna see a whole bunch of fans with their jerseys on. They invested in their careers.
Hmm.
Um, do you think? Um, what do you think is the biggest detriment to coaching a superstar?
I think let's start with Caitlin first.
Mm-hmm.
I think her fan base is not only the biggest, but they the most entitled. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is they have a mindset of how they think Caitlyn's career should go, and they have a expectation of Caitlyn's career should be at a certain point because they already consider her the greatest player to ever play basketball when it comes to WNBA women. They already put that expectation on her last year based on her exceptional rookie season. And so when you have a fan base that has that type of mentality and that type of expectation for her, they want to see her play a certain way and they want certain things to go her way in order for them as a fan base to feel good about her development. And so reason why it's difficult to coach Caitlin like that because although Caitlin is a great player, exceptional talent, she is a force multiplier based on the way she plays, her fast up tempo offense, her 3-point shooting, opened up a lot of doors for Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and many others on the any other field to really be successful because of the attention that teams emphasize and place on Caitlin herself because what she can do with the basketball.
Yep.
Now, having said all those things, there are things that Caitlin can do to grow her game, to be a better player. For instance, work on her mid range more, play better without the basketball. Most importantly, she needs to emphasize defense because
Hmm.
she is the franchise player. She is the face of the WNBA. And when her teammates don't see her play defense with the detail and the high IQ that she play offense with, it's a trickle down effect, in my opinion. Not fact, but in my opinion. And
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why that's a plight when it comes to coaching somebody like Caitlin. Because that's not something she's interested in doing as a player to want to grow her game. As a Stephanie White, what can you do in that situation? Your hands
Mm.
are tied. Because at the end of the day, if you chastise her, like I said, her fan base have a certain expectation and entitlement of how they think Caitlyn should be treated and the respect and reverence that they feel like she should be getting based on what she brought to the league and for viewership, merchandise, and among other things to the WNBA. So if you're Stephanie White and you was a well-regarded coach to the point that they had a bidding war for your services, Chicago Sky and Dallas Wings was people that was in the race that wanted to hire Stephanie White as their head coach. Indiana won out because she really wanted to coach Caitlin and she really wanted to go back home to Indiana, where she's from, where I
Hmm.
believe. And so when you have those elements and she trying to coach Caitlyn a certain way and the fan base don't agree with that, that's where the plight come in at. That's when Stephanie White could feel like her hands is tied. Because Caitlin Clark rebuke or rebuttal against how she wants to be coached. What can you do, Stephanie White? When you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, whatever you do from there, you will get chastised, you will get scrutinized, you will get, what I'm saying, penalized and chastised as a woman that's well high regarded and well respected as a head coach. Do you want to go through that? And so sometimes it's better for somebody like a Steph White just to be hands off and not do anything and let Caitlin do what she feels fit than to coach Caitlin the way that she need to be coached for her to really take her game to the next level and to make her that GOAT status that her fan base believes that she should be. It's hard to do that if her fan base won't let her grow as a player, and it's hard to do that if her fan base don't hold Caitlyn accountable to be the player that she is capable of being as a franchise player, not only for the Indiana field but the WNBA.
Hey, Duvall, let me tell you something. I'm gonna play you some from a little snippet of an interview Caitlin just recently did at the All Star break, and it speaks to what you were just talking about. Because how does Stephanie White get Caitlin and her fandom, her fans, to transition from the college style of Caitlin to the W style of Caitlin that's going to be needed in order to win championships? I'm gonna let you listen to a little bit of what she had to say at All Star break when she was getting interviewed by Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe. Hold on.
Well,
What is
okay.
this like?
First thing I would say, in college, every game I thought I was on a heater. But that's how I had to play because like we were either gonna lose or we were gonna win depending on how I shot. So I shot 30 times a game. So I always thought I was on a heater. Some nights I was, some nights I wasn't. But
So you
Mm,
hear that, Duvall? She said in college, um, she had to shoot that way. She always thought she was on a heater because she thought that was the only way where they were going to be able to win. And Lisa
mhm.
Bluter allowed that style of play to go out throughout her whole career. Now we fast forward to the W, and they play a different style of basketball. Um, it's not going to be such. It's not the half court. The half court game is very important in order, especially in the playoffs, as we talked about tirelessly. How
Mhm.
do you transition this this superstar from
Mhm.
something she's been doing for 4 years into what the W needs for her to be successful and
Before,
still have to deal with her fandom?
mm, before I break down that clip, I want to say her fans owe not Stephanie White. I'm sorry, Cheryl Swoops apology because she said herself she shot 30 times a game. You know that was an exaggeration, but she herself put that information out. So when Sharon Swoops misquoted and put out wrong information about her shot selection and how many years she been in the league, those fans never let that go. But then
Hmm.
Caitlyn in this same clip did it herself. And so you can't hold one person accountable and then not hold the person who said out her own mouth accountable for the same thing, even if it's out of just jest. So I just
Hmm.
want to say that before I really go into the clip of how the transition of Caitlyn game need to be utilized for her to be the best version of herself.
Hmm.
They got to come to Caitlyn. Caitlyn have to be woman enough and put on her big girl panties on. And I don't mean that in no disrespect. But she has to get in front of that mic and tell her fans, hey, I love you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for witnessing my journey along with me. But you gotta allow my coach to coach me a certain way, even if it don't look pretty at first.
Hmm.
Let
Hmm.
her do what she think is best for my career so I can be the best version of myself. You have to trust my coaching because I trust my coaching. And so if
Right.
you believe in me, believe in that I have great judgment when it comes to I feel like the people that I want to follow and I want to be inspired by, which I would believe would be Stephanie White at this point. But Caitlyn have to set the table for that. Caitlyn
Mm.
can't just sit in the corner and be quiet and let her fan base speak for her. That's
Hmm.
not right. And see, that's where you send the wrong message. That's where the plight of the superstar come in at. Because that superstar gotta be woman enough to be like, hey, fans, I love you. But I have to be coached a certain way based on how the WNBA is structured, especially with the physicality of the WNBA that's not in college. I have to be coached differently for me to be the best version of myself when it matters the most. Because unlike in our, she has some good players in our. We could talk about Gabby Marshall. We could talk about Hannah Stuckey that could be a first round pick in 2026 draft. We could talk about Kay Martin,
Okay.
who has
Hmm.
been desired by two teams. So,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? She had players in our, but in the WNBA, she have three Hall of Famers on her team.
Hmm.
Two certified Hall of Famers in Kelton Mitchell and Leah Boston. And
Hmm.
then one Hall of Famer in Natasha Howard. So
Yes.
she has other players that has the credentials, that has the resume to say that, hey, I can help you carry this load as well. And so that's where the coaching come in at where she has to allow herself to be coached differently. And even that means not take certain shots when, say the shot clock is still at 20 seconds or less. Even that means, what I'm saying, passing up shots that you might want for a better shot. Even that means when somebody else has the ball, cut cut to the basket, cut without, what I'm saying, having the basketball to make yourself more of a dangerous threat. There are things that she can do to elevate her game, but she has to allow herself to get her game elevated. And allow herself to get her game elevated is telling her fans, hey, trust me and trust my judgment when it comes to me wanting to listen to people that I think would know more what's best for my career than I would at this level.
And to your point, I mean, she signed off on Stephanie White. So they need to, her fan base need to trust her judgment in the coach that she picked. She picked the coach that she hopefully will help her get to the next level, not just continue to play the same way she did in college, because the college, you have to make that transition from college to the pros, or you're not going to win anything in the pros. I'm going to play a clip from her previous coach at Iowa just for context, Deval, because I think people seem to think that this image that they crafted in the W for Caitlin Clark was the real Caitlin Clark. Talking about the first year. No, the
Hmm.
real Caitlin Clark is starting to emerge.
Yes.
She is a fiery competitor. She's always been going at people. She's always been, been this type of player. But for
Hmm.
some reason, we were all clutching our pearls like, oh my God, Caitlin. No, this is how Caitlin has been since her college days because she's such a fierce competitor. Usually, when you have to be fierce in order to be great. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna let Lisa Blue to talk to you about it. Hold on.
Honor in practice. I've had to call technicals on her in practice. And, you know, I mean, she is like you see her in games and the emotion she plays with in games, the passion, the highs, the lows. She's the same way in practice when we go against our practice guys or when we have officials in. And the officials that we're bringing in sometimes don't want to call technicals on us, so I'll just do it from the bench because I do feel like, you know, we have to try to help her maintain her composure at times. And, you know, if they're not going to do it, then I will.
Her technical fouls. Can you just give examples of that competitiveness? But then
Happened in a while.
I can understand her frustration because our managers are not good refs at all. So, but yeah, it's fun. And Coach Bluter, I mean, I think it's just a good coaching tactic. You know, it's just like like she would do that to me. I've gotten a technical as well, so she's not alone. But you know, it just puts us in check, and she's just holding us accountable because you can't do that in games, and you will get a technical and put your team in a bad position.
So, Caitlin Clark's plans. When you see her possibly get into it with the coach or possibly get into it on the sideline with another assistant coach or something like that, don't automatically assume that somebody's hating on Caitlin Clark. She's passionate. Sometimes you got to bring her back down, guys. Sometimes you got to, like Coach Lisa Bluter said, sometimes you got to quell that fire. You going too far. Come on back over here. Let me talk to you. Compose yourself. Because we still trying to win this game. That's coaching, guys. And I know sometimes y'all don't want to, because she's a superstar, y'all don't want nobody to say nothing to it. If you say something to it, it's a big agenda against her. Everybody hates her. The coach hates her. The organization hates her. Y'all CC fans gotta stop that, man. Y'all looking kind of weak out here in these streets. I'm just being honest with you. You're looking kind of. She's got to be coached hard because she plays hard. And you can't be out there being meek. But that's just my opinion. Like you said, Deval, that's just my opinion on that. But you heard that from a college coach. She giving a text in practice, Deval. Because she's so fired. And she's going at a teammate that's on her team. Yeah. But that's all I got to say on that. You want to get to our other girl, Angel Reese?
Let me touch on this before we go to Angel Reese for
ahead.
a second. I ain't want to interrupt you. That's why I ain't say nothing.
Go ahead.
She remind me of Skylar Diggins without the reputation. Skylar Diggins is a dog. She is a fiery SOB, and she do not apologize for it.
Nope.
And everywhere she gone, she had to get kicked off of teams because she is a fiery woman. And that's great. You love that passion. You love that fire. You never want that fire to go out. And I hate to touch on this person for a second, but this is where Camilla comes in, that she don't have that same fire. You got to have that passion, because if you don't have that passion, you will never reach greatness. So I love her passion, but the problem is sometimes Caitlin goes too far. Not only just with how she talked to other adults, like the refs that she talked to when that was it the Connecticut game where she said, "Come here."
Yeah, put a little finger up. Come here.
That's a man with a family. And she's not talking to that man with respect. She have her share of technicals, and most importantly, and this is the biggest knock on Caitlin, her body language. Her body language clearly shows when something don't go her way, she has a fit. And she used to do that last year with Christy Sides. And like I said, that's why I say the plight of the coach and the superstar is very important, especially with Caitlin and Angel. But we talking about Caitlin at this moment is because she do all those things, and it's hard to say something to her. While her fan base attacking you, saying, "Hey, you're hating on her. You're not appreciating the value that she brings to the WNBA. You're not letting her play free. You're trying to handcuff her and make her feel like, you know what I'm saying, she in the cage. When at the end of the day, they're trying to grow her up from being a immature teenager to an adult. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but what I'm trying to say is she has to evolve with how she communicate with her body language, not only with her teammates, but with her coaching staff, and most importantly with the refs. Even her dad in Iowa had to tell her to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
fail to
yeah.
get that. Her own dad had to tell her to shut up because what I'm saying, sometimes Caitlyn goes too far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I said, it's hard to really try to rein that in because
But you got
unless
to if you want to win
yes,
chips. Mm-hmm.
unless you are a Hall of Fame coach, and even a Hall of Fame coach like a Angel Reese, who I'm gonna touch on at some point, you might can't rein that in without her fan base turning on you, while her fan
Mm-hmm.
base calling for your job to be, say terminated because, like I said, they feel like you're not treating her right. So that's why at the end of the day, it's hard. That spotlight that Caitlyn brings, that spotlight Angel brings, which we're gonna talk about in a second, but that spotlight when you are a superstar, when you are the most popular woman in WNBA, and you have to coach under that, everything that you say, do as a coach and a coaching staff is magnified by 10.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a difficult job, and only certain people can handle it. We gonna see if Stephanie White is cut for it because as of right
Hey,
now, she have her hands full.
and this is a good pivot because we're gonna talk. I'm gonna show a clip. This is a good pivot. We're gonna show a clip of Angel talking to Ryan Clark about being coached by a Hall of Fame coach in college. Let's let the clip roll and then we'll get into it.
The best out of you. That almost sounds, Angel, you said she brought the best out of you. That almost sounds weird or crazy because you were already a McDonald's All-American. You played well in your second year at Maryland, and now you break the single season record for double doubles. And you do that all while being allowed the space to be yourself. What has this experience been like with Kim not only pushing you to be the best on the court, but allowing you to be the best version of yourself off of it as well?
Nothing I did on the court was good enough. And that kept me humble. I think that's what I needed. I mean, she had won championships before me. I won a Big Ten championship. Okay, I wanted bigger things for myself. So she keeps me humble and reminds me, I got rings already. I got players already in the league. So just being able to know, that a coach can push me like that, I needed that. She'll tell me every day, you think you good? I never remember the South Carolina game. I didn't have a good game. And I have 4 rebounds written on my locker for the rest of the year because in practice every day she said, Angel, we lost that game. You had 4 rebounds that game. She'll remind me of that. Tennessee game, you let that girl cook you. That's the reason why we lost. Things like that, I need that stuff. It's not good to hear at the moment, but, you need a coach that's going to actually push you and just be like, damn, you just said that. So now I got to work harder. So I don't feel like anything I did this year, I could do it without her being able to push me and stay humble. So because I think I would, you don't get big-headed, but it's just I probably would have let some of this stuff I got 34 double-doubles. What y'all going to say? I'm doing this, but I never ever thought that because she had all these pros before me and had done this stuff before.
Hold up. Limitless. Niggas to me cap pinning it.
So yeah, that's a little bit of the clip between Angel and Ryan Clark talking about just getting coached by a Hall of Fame coach and her telling you ain't did more than me. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you had 4 rebounds this game. I'm gonna tell you got cooked this game. I'm gonna tell you was trash this game. You need to get that going. Speak to this, Deval, because Stephanie White, though Stephanie White is very respected in the league, she doesn't have the hardware of a Kim Mulkey. So Kim Mulkey could coach Angel, even though she was setting records like she doing now in the W. She was setting records in the NCAA, and Kim Mulkey still could rein in that ego that comes with all great players. Do you think this is the type of coach that Angel needs now? Or do you think the groundwork that was laid in college will help sustain her in the W? But you get where I'm coming from? Because Tyler Marsh is a different coach than what she had in LSU. I'll let you go.
Okay. Let me touch on the fan base part first, and then I'm gonna get to how the coaching aspect fits into Angel Reese. Just like I said, Caitlin Clark fans are more entitled because they have their expectation of what they think Caitlin Clark should be, and that's why they hold whoever is coaching Caitlin Clark accountable.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of Angel Reese, her fan base are sensitive, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Because of the unnecessary hate that she goes through
Right.
day in, day out, week in, week out,
Mm-hmm.
they more on edge when it comes to how the way she's being treated, how the way she's being coached, how the way she's being utilized. Because it's like I don't want to say a Stockholm syndrome, but it's like a fan base that's traumatized
Mm-hmm.
because of the treatment that this woman goes through on a daily basis. And to the extent the fan base goes through on a daily basis, because Caitlyn fans in particular will remind her every day of her shortcomings and failures. And
Mm-hmm.
so, in the case of Angel, and this is why I want to set the table for that, is because Angel, her reputation don't meet the type of person she is. I
Mm-hmm.
believe coming into the WNBA, they looked at Angel. I'm talking the scouts and GMs and everything else. Looked at Angel like some kind of diva, like somebody that would be a difficult person to deal with.
They
But you
did.
ask these coaches, you ask the Moki, you ask her Big Ten coach. I mean, not Big, yeah, Big Ten, the Maryland coach. And
Maryland
you
coach.
ask Nolan Henry and on Rival. Angel probably is the most coachable player in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Will only just want to do whatever it takes to win. If you tell Angel set 100 screens this game and don't do no scoring, don't do no nothing else but rebound and 100 screens, Angel will be okay with that as long as she wins.
Yes, she would.
If you tell Angel shoot 30 shots because hey, we feel like you're the best option for us to score this particular game, she would do that if it means for them to win. She's not a person that feels like, you know what I'm saying, I only want to win if on the reason that we win. She is a person that she's a good soldier. Whatever her
Mm-hmm.
coach tell her to do, she will do it. Now, do I think she needs hard coaching? Yes, because one, Angel comes from a basketball background. Her mother
Mm-hmm.
was her coach originally, and so her mother gonna be more hard on her than any other coach that gonna be hard on her. Her mother criticized her on her own podcast. She didn't
Right.
care because, like
Right.
I said, she knows that Angel mentally can handle whatever criticism that is thrown at her because she wants to get better. Lisa Leslie loves her like she's her mother. Criticize her on her own podcast again
Yes.
because Angel seeks out advice. She seeks out leadership. She seeks out help and mentorship because she wants to be the best version of herself as well. She knows she's further behind her development, even though it started to become closer than Caitlin
Mm-hmm.
was. And so she know that she had to take a lot more steps to get where she is at this moment to become the player that we are starting to see now. But nevertheless, because of what Angel has gone through in the media with other fans, her fan base is more sensitive to how the way she's being treated. So when that spotlight with Angel being coached by somebody is beaming on them, because we are dissecting everything you're doing. Is it the best interest for Angel, or is you trying to hinder Angel development than it already was before you got there? So that's why Tyler Marsh is under this high beam microscope. Because at the end of the day, even though it was for the best for Angel to revert to the the playing style that she played that in Maryland and in high school. In particular, she did some of that at LSU, but not as much as she did in Maryland high school. What she's doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
we know it's gonna take some growing pains, but at the same time, she always get criticized every single day. So we don't get the grace, and I mean we as the fan base don't get
Right.
the
Right.
grace to allow her to develop like other players. And so that's why when it comes to Angel, we and as the fan base are more sensitive to how she's being treated by her coaching staff and everything else. Because at the end of the day, we know that the path towards greatness for her is a lot harder to travel based on a lot of roadblocks that's in the way for her, not only as a player, but as an African American woman, unfortunately.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna speak to the Reese's Pieces, the Angel Reese, the Angel Reese fan base, and I'm gonna tell you the one criteria that they have for for the coach of Angel Reese is, and I think this is one of the reasons that Tyler Marsh sometimes finds himself on the hot seat. The one criteria that we all have is stand up for Angel at all times, because we know what she has went through in the media. We know what she's went through online. We know what's going on the court. I think sometimes his personality is to a detriment of what the fans want, because Teaspoon, she wasn't like this expert X's and O's coach, right? But she stood up for her players. I think he is finally coming around to that. That sometimes you can't just get along. I'm just gonna get along and let her keep getting fouled. No, bruh, you're gonna be in hot water with this fan base, because we feel like she is the least protected because she takes so much heat. You know what I'm saying? So I think what's going on with Tyler Marsh, I think he's starting, and plus he's a rookie head coach, and maybe he didn't understand all the dynamics as we talking through this video, Javal. Maybe he didn't understand all the dynamics and the nuances that were going on with coaching this superstar. But you have to be willing to get attacked if it's warranted. You got to be not fiery, but you got to stand firm on the sideline. You can't just let your superstar get beat up like that and don't say nothing to them. So I think at the beginning of this thing, even though they've been losing, that's part of it. But I think if he would have been more at the forefront of protection of Angel, protection of all the women on his team. Don't get me wrong, but especially her, because you know the type of scrutiny she is under. You know what kind of firestorm she's under. So I think he had some shortcomings in that department, along with, well, the basketball part of it. So it's like a contrasted thing between Caitlin and Angel. For Caitlin, it's more like a basketball thing. She just need to let the coach her. On the other end, Angel is doing what this guy tell her to do, but he's got to hold up his end of the bargain. He's got to protect her when it's time to protect her, if that makes sense.
100%.
So I think he's slowly, right, Deval,
Yes.
coming around to, the perception of it. The fan base has to be able to see it. Otherwise, we start talking about conspiracies and all
All
kind of
that.
stuff, all that stuff going on. So that's my take on it. I think he just, I, for lack of a better word, he was a rookie to the dynamics of the politics that's running around the WNBA.
Yes. And I want to be fair with Tyler Marsh,
Mm-hmm.
because I think with Teaspoon, because she was so protective of Angel and everything
Right.
else,
Mm-hmm.
I think it did something to that locker room,
Mm-hmm.
because there was women in that locker room that had hidden agendas, in my opinion.
Right. Right.
And for that superstar to come and take over that locker room immediately, and the coach empowered that, it did something to the locker room. Not just that, but just other things too. But I think that part of it kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. So if you're Tyler Marsh and you knew that what happened to Teaspoon, and I'm pretty sure that got mentioned to Tyler Marsh, in my opinion, in the meet with Jeff P about, say how Teaspoon handled things. Maybe he wanted to go a different route to make her feel like, hey, she's just like everybody else, but she's not like everybody else.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
She, in my opinion, is like, you can't just be Angel's coach. You have to be a psychologist. And that's not fair to you, Tyler Marsh, but that's the situation she is in because of the emotional beatings that she has to go through on a daily basis. She
Mm-hmm.
needs somebody, a man, like yourself, to stand up for her, to be her protective, not just her coach, but her protective. And that's where, like I said, the Angel Reese fan base, the Reese's Pieces. I ain't no Reese's Pieces. I'm grown. I don't do all
Right.
that.
No,
But
I'm just saying that's her people.
I'm
That's
just
all I'm saying.
grown. I'm grown
I,
now. I ain't
I'm
no Reese's
grown too.
Pieces.
I'm an Angel Reese fan, but I'm grown too. I'm
I'm
just
grown
saying.
now. I'm past the age threshold for the Reese's Pieces. That's for kids. But
Look.
now I'm saying like see, Angel fan base is different. We're more
Mhm.
sensitive. But at the same time, we hold Angel accountable. That's something
Yeah,
that CC fans don't do.
yeah, we do
We
hold
would
her
tell
accountable.
Angel, hey man, your shoe selection ain't good. Hey
Right.
man, your technique, you know what I'm saying, is your fundamentals, you know what I'm saying, fall apart as the game goes on.
Yeah, we
Hey
talk
man,
about it all the time.
we
Yeah,
rushing your shot,
raise your
Angel.
hand and start. Don't rush. Kick it back out, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rushing your
Mhm.
shot, Angel. Sometimes take that jump shot, you open. We would
Right.
get on Angel.
Let that thing fly. We say it
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
We would get on Angel. We would hold Angel accountable. But we also would treat her with care because we know what she goes through on a daily basis. And
Mhm.
so with the video, the plight of a superstar, it's two separate band bases that have two separate mentalities. And I hope these fan bases understand where position where they in,
Mhm.
and we at both fan bases have to grow and allow these players to grow to the best version of themselves. But before we get off this topic, unless I don't know if you got any more videos you need to
Yeah, I'm
show.
about to play what Tyler Marsh said at All Star.
Okay, I glad you
Yeah.
get to that, and then I get to my main point that I want to get
Oh,
to with this come to Angel Reese situation.
yeah. I would say that's why I said, in my opinion, I think Tyler Marsh is starting to come around to what it means to coach a superstar like Angel, because he was at All Star weekend, and a lot of
Mhm.
people was wondering what he doing there, what he doing at All Star weekend. But this is what he had to say at All Star about Angel. Y'all, let me play it.
Mm.
Let me remove this. Let me add this. All right, here we go. Oh, I always
Accomplishment. It
do.
speaks to the hard work. Man, it's an amazing accomplishment. It speaks to the hard work, the growth the Angel has had, not just this year, but over the course of the last 2 years. She continues to earn her keep with her hard work, and she continues to prove that she belongs in this league with the best. Coaches sacrifice so much, but so do the players, and I think sometimes that doesn't get noticed as much. And so, any times that we're able to give back to the players that give so much to us each and every day, we want to be able to show that support. And so, we appreciate everything that Angel is and means to the culture, everything that she means to the organization, everything that she means to the W and to women's basketball. And so we just want to continue to uplift her as best we can. Angel, congrats. We're proud of you back in Chicago. Get through this game safely so you can get back and we can finish this season strong.
He said he knows what she means to women's basketball, to the culture, and to
Mhm.
all things basketball.
Mhm.
I think he's starting to get it, Duvall. I could be wrong,
I think
but I
it's like,
don't think he knew the magnitude
mm,
going in. Go
yes.
ahead.
I think he started to get it because, like I said, this is no disrespect to the person I'm about to mention, and then I'm gonna get to my main point. Yes, he had Angel Wilson, but Angel Wilson ain't Angel Reese, and that's no disrespect to Angel Wilson. She don't have the popularity of an Angel Reese. So being on the sideline with Angel Wilson is a lot different than being on the sideline with Angel Reese when that spotlight is real big and you can't hide. And so I think he started to really show that protection that she needs, show that support that she needs. He was at the All Star break because Teaspoon last year didn't go to the All Star break.
The All
Teaspoon
Star
communicated.
festivities. No, she didn't
She
go.
communicated with her on FaceTime, along
Right.
with like Michaela and Diamond the Shield. He was actually there. He took pictures with her and everything, which is
Mm.
good. Now, he shouldn't be the only coach on the hot seat. Like I said, I'm finna get to my main point. I'm finna ruffle some feathers a little bit on Lakeisha. Just a little
Uh
bit.
oh. Uh oh.
This is why, speaking of All-Star break, Cheryl Reese, you should be fired.
Here you go.
Yes, I'm gonna say it. Because You had her at number 7. She'll right there waiting for you to pick her. You trade back because you ain't want that spotlight. You ain't want to have to answer those questions. You ain't want to have to adjust your way, your system, the way you did that. Because to me, Cheryl Reese is like a conservative, old school coach that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, everything is under my umbrella. And unfortunately, Caitlyn, not Caitlyn, but Angel, both Caitlyn and Angel, their popularity is bigger than that umbrella. And
Mm-hmm.
reason why I think this is such a graph for Cheryl Reeves as a president and coach to miss on an Angel say not only a good player, not only a great player, but a perennial All-Star, a future Hall of Famer who continued to break records that you could have had on your squad, and you could have won championships last year, this year, and many more years to come. And her missing on this pick with Angel Reese is like when Stu Iman, you maybe ain't never heard that name, but I'm gonna tell you who that person is. And Jack Ramsey, you maybe heard that name a little bit, Hall of Fame coach. I'm gonna tell you who that person is. They coached the Portland Trailblazers from Stu Iman from 81 to 86 and Jack Ramsey from 76 to 86, who was a Hall of Fame coach. In the 1984 draft, Sarah Reed missing on Angel Reese to pick Peely is the equivalent of Portland Trailblazers picking Sam Bowie to pass on Michael Jordan. And people might say, this is blasphemy. Why are you comparing Michael Jordan to Angel Reese? Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Angel Reese will not be the greatest of all time. And that's all true. But the reason why I picked those two players, because the reason why they was passed on. In the case of Portland Trailblazers, Stu Iman, who was the GM, Jack Ramsey, who was the Hall of Fame coach, who had some influence, I believe. They passed on Michael Jordan to pick Sam Bowie because in their mind, they already had Clyde Drexel, who they drafted in the 14th pick of the previous draft in 1983, the previous year, which is a great pick, Hall of Famer, great two guard. But they passed on Michael Jordan because of that reason. And I believe Sherry passed on not Michael Jordan, but Angel Reese because there was two Hall of Famers in her position. And, the spotlight and everything that comes with it. And me saying all that is saying both coaches and GM are stupid. Because you always take the best talent available and you let everything work itself out. Portland did not take the best talent, cost themselves championships. Sherry Reed did not take the best talent for whatever reason, cost herself championships. That's not a way to do business. And the reason why I mention Sherry Reed because you can't be afraid of the spotlight if you want to achieve greatness. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that means letting stuff go. Sometimes that means letting go of control. In order to get what you need to elevate your status, you're already the greatest coach of all time. But you would have won more championships. Now we're talking about Phil Jackson territory. Now we're talking about Gio Auriemma territory. Because you would have had that one player that could have changed your franchise for the better. But you allow your ego, in my opinion, and you not doing research by talking to her Big Ten coach in Maryland, by not talking to Kim Mulkey, to get the information that you need to know who this player really is. And this is why it really falls hard on Sherry Reeves. Because she had that All-Star game this year. And I guarantee Sherry Reeves found out, she is very coachable. She is very likable. Hey, I can hang out with this woman. You know how I know that? Because she hung out with her at the bar. They ain't no allegedly. We seen the film. We can pull it up, Lakeisha. It's in your Instagram DM. She hung out with her at the bar. She hung out with her at the practice courts and everything else. So
everybody that mama know Sherry Reeves had the stud buzz, Nafisa, and herself whispered in Angel ear. Go ahead,
They allowed Angel to take the team picture with them together after the game. So, again, Cheryl, you could have did your homework and had another Hall of Famer in addition to the two other Hall of Famers you already had. And just deal with whatever scrutiny comes with coaching the Angel Reese because at the end of the day, you would have won at the end. But this is a common case of a coach being intimidated, in my opinion, It is not fact, but just in my opinion, be intimidated of what was instead of what is. And see, that's why the title of the plight of coach of superstar is sometimes there are gonna be some things that comes with coaching somebody of that magnitude. But the rewards of coaching somebody of that magnitude is far greater than whatever downside it is that comes with coaching that player. So that's why I land with this situation. Cheryl Reese, you messed up. Don't try to get it later. You missed out, but it's all good. But that's why when you have these coaches like the Nolan Henrys and like I said, Stephen White and many others, when they coach these superstars like Caitlin and Angel, and I'm gonna say to a small degree, Paige Beckers, Juju when she come in, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a spotlight. It's gonna be expectations. It's gonna be their fan base gonna expect certain things from said coach. But you have to embrace it and not be afraid of it. You have to change your mindset and allow yourself to evolve so you get the best out of the people that you coach when it comes to young superstars in the WNBA between today and beyond.
Well, we about to get out of here. Y'all hit the like button, but I got a quick rapid fire question for my boy Duvall.
Yes, ma'am.
Quick rapid fire question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Tyler Marsh and Stephanie White make it through?
I don't
quick.
I don't think so. And that's all I'm saying. I don't think so.
You don't think so, huh?
The pressure's too big for them. I just don't think so. I think one gonna walk away. I think one, if they don't turn around, it's another person lurking. And I'm not gonna say the person's name. Y'all do your homework.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna leave it there.
Me and my rapid my rapid response is this. They better be looking over their shoulders because they got a lot of people lurking. They got a lot of people step up to that spotlight. Now they might get burned in that spotlight, but they'll have people step up to the spotlight. So hopefully these coaches can hopefully by now, we halfway through the season, right, Deval? Hopefully by now they understand what they done got themselves into and they make the adjustments that they need to make to Coach Caitlin and Angel. And I land on that. Hey, y'all, we about to get up out of here. Thank you for rocking with me, Deval. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We out.
Before you go, I want to say, in the famous words of Michael Jackson, when he sung his song, "I'll Be There" with the Jackson 5, and I'm gonna tell this to Tyler Marsh and Stephanie White. Michael Jackson said, "I'm looking over your shoulder, honey."
You so daggone stupid. Bye, y'all. Bye.